If there was a barbarian-style Rugby World Cup, no 7-week training camps beforehand, Fiji would win the thing every single time. Because when it comes down to instinct, when it comes down to no coaches, no positions, just 15 guys on a field playing what they see in front of them, Fiji do it better than anyone on the planet. But that is also the problem, because rugby has always loved taking from Fiji. For decades, their biggest exports have been carver and footy players. The talent leaves early. The money is elsewhere. The professional contracts, the scholarships are elsewhere. Some of the best clubs in the world get these freakish athletes, these giant wingers, these offload machines. Wingers that can jackal, hookers that can kick, locks that can run as fast as Usain Bolt. But Fiji don't always get the same thing in return. They don't get the preparation. They don't get the fixtures. They don't get the funding. And yet, despite the assumption that structure and organized defenses will win the day, Fiji always pulls something out of the bag. And whenever that happened, more often than not, you could find a winger, a center, a lock, a fullback at any position, because these guys play positionless rugby. You could find one of these guys on the end of it, making tier 1 teams look amateur. And with that, we get to the players, the ones who did so much damage against the biggest nations in the world. We start with the obvious one, Rupeni Thautau Mbuka. Thautau's test career was very brief, but my God, did he do some damage. Many people will remember Thautau for his contribution to the Auckland Blues 2003 Super Rugby title, but it's what he did later in the year at the 2003 Rugby World Cup that is what caught their world by storm. Fiji opened their account in that World Cup against France, and Thautau scored a try that made the French defence look like a second-string Golden Oldies side. It was a try that would live long in the memory shortly before he threw a punch to get himself banned for the next 2 group games. Rumour has it that Thautau didn't train between that French game and the Scotland game 3 weeks later, but you wouldn't have known by the way he took the field, scoring 2 unbelievable tries, including an 80-metre runaway as Fiji pushed Scotland all the way before succumbing to the Scots by 22 points to 20. Thautau's career was derailed shortly after that performance at the World Cup. He still finished with 10 tries in 8 test matches, including 5 tries in 5 matches against Tier 1 opposition. But despite his outstanding exploits, Thautau was not top of this list. That goes to a man that would surprise you by the name of Waisea Naiafalevu. Naiafalevu captained Fiji to famous wins against England at Twickenham and Australia in their World Cup pool game in 2023. Naiafalevu is not flashy by Fijian standards, but he is consistent and he is the glue of that Fiji backline that did so well in 2023. Naiafalevu loved doing it against Wales, where he scored 3 tries against us, including 1 in the pool stages of the 2023 Rugby World Cup. He also picked 1 against England in the 2023 World Cup warm-up, 1 against Australia in the 2019 World Cup pool stage game, and 1 against Scotland and 1 against Japan. As I watch them, I find myself saying, my God, what a player Naiafalevu was. Next up, we have a throwback to the early 2000s in Stormin Norman Legere. Legere has 6 tries against Tier 1 opposition, including 2 against New Zealand. But before we cover those 2 tries against the All Blacks, which were pretty amazing, I want to show you something that is actually breaking my rules. A try against Japan in the 2003 World Cup. Not a Tier 1 team, but my God, look at that pickup. And it says everything that the first highlight that I pick isn't him burning Jonah Lomu of all people on the outside to score against the All Blacks. This next one is for Crusaders fans, and I will never know how the Waratahs let this bloke go, because most of us know Nemani Nandolo for his 3 brilliant years in Christchurch, but what he achieved for Fiji was also incredible, scoring 5 tries in 11 games against Tier 1 opposition, including a try against England in the World Cup opener at Twickenham. Now, I could go on for days about Fijian try scorers against the tier ones because the list is more or less infinite. Also on number 5 is Joshua Tuisova, and this is a guy that can still break Naifalevu's record. You got Tomosi Nakusa as well, who also has 5. But what I'll do is I'm going to show you my 3 favorite tries by Fijian players against tier 1 opposition, because whilst there are many of them, these 3 are utterly incredible. Now, this first one is technically 2 tries, but it was in the space of about 2 minutes when they had 14 men on the field against the Springbok team that won the 2003 World Cup. They were 26 down, and Vilimoni Delisau goes long, catches the ball in the in-goal area and scores. And then a massive break by Moses Raluni allows them to level the scores. And for just a moment, the whole of Fiji dared to dream, and the world was willing them on before South Africa recovered to win 37-20. This next one is against Wales, and there are so many different Fijian tries that you could pick from that they scored against Wales, but I've gone for Veronica Gonova's try in the 2015 World Cup pool stage. You see Tikoi Ratuma break through here, they go from coast to coast, and at the end of it is the big man to score. And the final one is this, Rupeni Thautau against France. And I know we've played it already, and I know we've already spoken about Thautau, but my God, you just can't help but watch this twice, 3 times, 4 times, over and over again. And that for me is why Fiji are the most unbelievably fun team to cover in this list, because yes, the leaderboard matters, yes, the numbers are important, but for Fiji, it's what you see on tape that counts. Because when it comes to Fiji, the numbers tell you why they were dangerous, but it's the tape that tells you why tier 1 teams were terrified of them.